brought to you by Bethel School of Technology. Learn more at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman. America's teens are working a lot earlier and a lot longer, and some of you are going, it's about time. All right, chill out, boomer. Get off my lawn. We are going to get into some of that, but let's talk about what's going on. And this article here from USA Today, and the data is saying that it's inflation that is pushing teens into the workforce. So let's get right to this. Let's jump around here. I want to pull some things out of this. Let's just talk about where we're at. By the way, I am going to, in a few minutes, I'm going to address the presidential campaign and how it affects your pocketbook. So, Alex, this ties in. This will not be a hard left or right turn. Everybody relax. But I want you to stay with me because I think this is going to encourage you. All right, so let's talk about where we are. By the way, this was not mentioned in the debate. Nobody mentioned this. This is out of USA Today. This is not a conservative rag. You ready? Consumer prices are up more than 20% over the past 3 years. Did you get that? Everybody, you with me? It's real. Inflation is real. Consumer prices up 20%. Seriously, Nathan, how expensive is a box of cereal these days? It's crazy. Don't get me started on the cost of eggs and bacon. Yay. All right, here we go. So that's the backdrop. As a result, more teens are getting jobs to help out parents who are feeling the financial pressure. Alicia Sasser-Modestino, professor of economics and public policy at Northeastern University, says more than half of teens work to contribute to household expenses such as rent, utility, and groceries, and also to cover their own expenses such as cell phone, clothing, and shoes. When America's parents are squeezed, they can't pay for the cell phone, they can't pay for gas, and the kids have got to work to help pay for those things. I know some of you go, they should be anyway. I agree. But I'm just telling you, they haven't. More on that in a minute. About 64% of parents living with children under 18 said they felt financially secure in 2023. Only 64%. Let's flip that. 36% of America's parents do not feel secure in raising their children. I'm talking about financially secure. If you look at rents, price of groceries, we're talking about real stuff here. Real costs. Now, am I happy that consumer prices are up more than 20% over the past 3 years? No, I'm not personally, and I'm not happy for you. But let me also say this. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. Some of you say, well, Ken, that's cause and effect. Consumer prices are up. People don't have enough check left over at the end of the month, and so they have to supplement with credit cards. No, that's victim thinking. People who live below their means can survive high inflation. Okay? And listen, to the extent that you can't get work that pays you enough, you have to work a second job. Do I like that for you? No. Am I blaming that on you? No. But I'm saying hard times require harder work. Just as we got to adapt. Now, is this a silver lining is the question I have today. I'm not happy that the middle class and the lower class's expenses have gone up and that it's tougher to make ends meet. I'm not happy about that. But is a silver lining out of this scenario that more and more American teens are required to go work themselves to help contribute to the family? I say this is a silver lining. After all, if we were to go back into colonial society as this nation was founded, and we move into the 1800s and we move into the early 1900s, it was not abnormal for young people to work, to contribute to the family business. They weren't even paid by their father or their mother or whatever, what have you. They worked. Why? Because they were part of the family and they were contributing in their unique way. This is a good thing. I think we need more teenagers working and less teenagers playing and Snapchatting and TikToking and Instagramming and all the things. I do. So the silver lining is that more American teens are having to work to help pay the family bills. I think it's actually a way of unifying the family. It's a way for these teenagers, and by the way, it's not this current batch of teenagers, it's every teenager. I was a teenager. You know what we teenagers are great at? Entitlement. And I think one of the greatest ways to defeat entitlement in your family and in this country is for kids to work and realize what they have to do in exchange for a paycheck. And then my favorite, Alex, is when Chase brought his paycheck home this summer after working several hours at Buffalo Wild Wings. And he saw the withholding. Oh, man. I don't care what party you vote for. I really don't. In fact, the real me, pure me, is you vote for whoever you stinking want to. That is what makes America great. You got options. Vote. I don't care if I agree with you either. You vote for somebody that I think is absolutely lunatic. I'm for your right to vote. I want you to vote. But can I also say, I want everybody to be able to get a paycheck. Not just for their own provision, because I want them to see their taxes. 50% of Americans don't even pay taxes. I think it's good when we pay taxes. I hate taxes. I still think it's good when we pay them. Number one, we have to on some level. Number two, you begin to appreciate your contribution to the greater whole. You see what it does? I care more about American policy when I'm paying taxes, Alex. And then I go, wait a second, I don't want to pay for that, right? And so back to this family unit thing. When teenagers are having to work to contribute to the family, I think they care more about the family. Hey, my mom's struggling. She's working 2 or 3 jobs. I'm going to go work and help my mom pay for the air conditioning and the heating. I'm going to buy my own PlayStation 5. Can I just tell you, a kid who pays for their own PlayStation 5 has got a little bit more to be proud of when they play it. Can I tell you about my daughter, Josie? 15. Came to me 3 or 4 months ago and said, I want a mini golden doodle. And my immediate reply was, I would like a Mercedes G-Wagon. I said, I'm not buying you a dog. She kept pushing me. So you know what I said? You pay for the dog, you get the dog. She had no idea how much the dog cost. Anybody in the booth want to take a guess what a purebred mini golden doodle costs? Anybody? Quick guesses in the room, please. Somebody?
800.
800 from Nathan. Kelly?
1,200.
1,200, Bob?
Maybe 1,500.
1,500, Bob?
$5,000.
$5,000. Yeah, this is The Price is Right. These guys know the answer. I've said this before. $1,500. Hey, Nathan just cringed. That's a lot of money, isn't it, bro? I know. Guess what? I said, if you pay for it, I'll take care of the food and the vet bills. And you know what? She is in acting, and she had the money. Can I tell you her ownership of that dog is next level? Like, not because she just loves the dog, but because she invested in the dog. It was her money. Some of you may be going, Ken, you're a horrible dad for letting your daughter spend the $1,500. No, I'm a great dad for letting her feel the weight of that. If she blows all her money, guess what? Life's going to teach her a very hard lesson. All right. Now, I want to pivot really quick because I think it's actually really important that when we're talking about costs going up 20% for consumers over the last couple of years, when we talk about a presidential election, when we talk about teenagers having to go to work to help support their family, I'm going to actually tell you something that has nothing to do with either party. You ready? Here's my controversial political take today, which I don't think is controversial. Number one, whoever's in charge of the White House has less to do with what's going on in your house than you. Number two, your state officials and your local officials have far more impact on your life than the president and Congress. You should be paying attention to your county commissioners, your mayors, your state house representatives, your state senates, and your governor, far more than you need to be wringing your hands about whoever wins this next election. I know some of you are going to absolutely lose your mind, and you think the world is coming to an end based on which person makes it or doesn't make it. And I'm here to tell you, not true. Not true. Your prosperity has more to do with what you do than what whoever is in the White House does. Do I think it matters in voting? Yes, you should vote. Do I think that there are policies that are better for us than other policies? Yes. Do I think there are clear choices on those policies this time around? Sure, absolutely. There always are. As long as we have a two-party system, there's very clear choices. They're very, very different parties, very, very different policies. Here's my point. Let me tell you what's not going to happen for me the day after Election Day. No matter who wins, guys, I'm not going to be like, ah, or woohoo. No, I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. You know why? Because my path to prosperity and the decisions that I make and the decisions that are made even on the local level have far greater impact on me than who wins the White House. So maybe we should take some of this fury and this concern, and maybe we should focus it on what are we doing to create our path to prosperity and freedom. I think we'd all be better off if we took more individual responsibility and paid attention to the things that really, really matter. Launch your tech career today at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.